Hello and welcome to the session on major figures in Indian education, Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda. Education is a lifelong process that starts from the cradle and ends in the grave. It extends beyond the confines of classroom and instructions. Education shapes the outlook of a person and helps in forming his or her personality. It prepares an individual to adapt and adjust to the various environments so as to attain the goals in life. There is no limit to education and its sources. In fact, it can be gained from every experience that life presents. Another way to gain education is to learn from the experiences and wisdom of great thinkers and personalities. The ideas and ideologies of such people and their approach towards life and living are treasure troves from which one can be inspired and educated. Several thinkers and educationists from all over the world have expressed their views about education. In this unit, we will learn about two famous Indian personalities and their views on education. We will observe the key educational concepts forwarded by Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi and their contribution to the field of education. The life and works of Mahatma Gandhi, 1869 to 1948. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the most well-known philosophers of India. He was a practical philosopher who strived to create a society that was free from the clutches of caste, racial discrimination, religion and exploitation. He contributed in a major way to the educational principles through his philosophical ideas and ideals. He drew inspiration from the various experiences of his life that occurred in India as well as outside. He believed in the all-round development of personality in a child through the means of education. He stressed on physical, spiritual, intellectual and economic development through the means of education. He was instrumental in leading India to independence through non-violent movements. He is also referred to as Bapu in India. Mahatma Gandhi was born as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. His birth took place on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat. He was born to Karamchand Gandhi, the then Diwan of Porbandar, and Putlibai, a pious lady. Under the religious influence of his mother, Gandhi imbibed the principles of non-injury to living beings and vegetarianism at an early age. Gandhi was a medical student in school. He married Kasturbai Makhanji at the age of 13 while still in high school. He completed college education before leaving for England on 4th September 1888 to study law at University College, London. In London, he led a life of abstinence from meat, sex and alcohol as per his mother's wish and command. He came into contact with Annie Besant during his stay in England. He returned to India in 1891 and set up legal practice. However, he was unsuccessful in this endeavour. In 1893, he set sail for South Africa to become the legal advisor of an Indian firm there. This was a life-changing decision for Gandhi. Not much after he had stepped onto the African soil, he realized the strong racial discrimination that plagued the society there. Indians as well as the blacks were treated as second-class citizens by the European white people. When Gandhi himself started suffering from racial discrimination, he decided to fight against the system. He gathered the emigrant Indians there and protested against the discrimination of African government. He continued with the non-violent protest in a determined manner for years until the African government relented to his demands. An agreement was signed in this effect in 1914. Gandhi returned to India in the following year to start a greater movement against the British rulers ruling over India. On reaching India, Gandhi took to extensive travelling across the length and breadth of the country. He assessed the political situation and witnessed the atrocities meant by Indians by the British rulers. He joined Indian National Congress and started working actively for the nation and its people. He spread the message of Satyagraha and organized non-violent movements against the British regime. In 1970, he established the Sabarmati Ashramam at Ahmedabad for spreading Harijan upliftment and other social reformation activities like promoting village industries. The ashram gained prominence as a center of political, spiritual and for economic upliftment. After the violent massacre of innocent Indians in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar in 1919, Gandhi started the civil disobedience movement against the British rule in India. He also worked to free the Indian society from social evils like poverty, untouchability, alcoholism and ignorance. He carried out several protests, struggles, strikes, satyagrahas and movements to gain freedom from the British rulers. He launched the historic Dandi March in 1930 to protest against the tax on salt. In 1942, he called for the Quit India movement. After a lot of struggle, torture and sacrifice, Gandhi finally succeeded in attaining freedom for the country on 15th August 1947 by adhering to the path of non-violence, truth and peace. However, independence of the country came at the price of division of the nation into two halves along communal lines. There were widespread communal riots on the eve of independence and thousands of people lost their lives. Gandhi tried his best to pacify the people and stop the violence. His efforts at bringing back peace among the people enraged a fundamentalist named Nathuram Godse. He shot Gandhi dead on 30th January 1948 and the country lost its greatest messenger of peace and non-violence. He is regarded by all as Mahatma and father of the nation. Meaning of education as per Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi believed that education is the backbone of a society. It is the most potent tool for upliftment of the weaker sections of the society and for the overall development of the population. Gandhi did not endorse the traditional education system. According to him, education must result in all-round development in a child or an adult so as to produce a complete human being. He was of the view that education helps to draw the best in an individual's mind, body and spirit. He stressed that literacy is neither the beginning nor the ending of education and it is just a means to become educated. Hence, he did not attach much importance to the formal ways to gain education. Educational philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi derived his educational philosophy based on his varied experiences in politics, economics and civil society in India and abroad. He integrated his belief in non-violence with his educational philosophy. He suggested that adopting the path of non-violence was a necessary means to realize God. The basic principles of Gandhi's educational philosophy can be expressed as follows. Free primary education. Education for every child must be free and compulsory till 14 years of age. Stress on mother tongue. Education must be imparted to the child through the medium of his or her mother tongue. Emphasis on education and not medium of instruction. English must not be given priority in the education of a child. Importance on human values. Education must not be synonymous with literacy. Developing human values must form an important part of the education system. Adopting the path of non-violence. Education must provide a child with the ability to realize God through pure and non-violence means. Connection to community. Education must develop all the qualities and powers of the child so that he or she can adjust easily into the community. development of personality. Education must provide the means for complete development of a child's personality, and that includes a child's mind, body and soul. Stress on vocational qualities. Education must encourage and develop vocational efficiency in every child so that they will be able to earn their living. Creation of responsible citizens. Education must prepare every child to become responsible and dynamic citizens of the society and fulfill their social responsibilities. Formation of a harmonious society. Basic education must cleanliness and purity the heart and the mind of the people so that they form a harmonious society free from all exploitations and discriminations. Providing practical training. Education must provide practical training rather than depending on theoretical aspects of education only. Importance to work experience. Education must comprise of various kinds of activities and work experiences through which a child may gain economic self-reliance in life. Increment of moral values. Education must be a means to introduce the child to universal moral values for achieving any kind of success in the field of education. The life and works of Swami Vivekananda 1863 to 1902. Swami Vivekananda was an exemplary philosopher and a great educationist of India. He was a legendary figure whose ideologies and philosophies became widely popular not only in India but also in the Western countries. He spread the values of truth, righteousness, brotherhood, dignity and renunciation. He made profound contributions to the field of education. He emphasized on overall education in the society and encouraged mass education, religious education, physical education, vocational education and women's education based on Indian culture and traditions. He taught that education is a lifelong process that enables an individual to become self-reliant and helps to develop his or her character and intelligence. Swami Vivekananda was born on 12th January 1863 in Kolkata. His original name was Narendranath Datta. He was an exceptionally brilliant child whose intelligence was visible from an early age. At the age of 16, he joined the Presidency College after passing his matriculation examination. There, he acquired knowledge about both Indian and Western philosophies. During this period, he came in contact of the famous spiritual leader from Bengal, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Narendranath was highly impressed with the teachings and philosophies of Sri Ramakrishna. The spiritual leader inspired him to denounce the materialistic ways of life and lead a life of a monk instead. He advised Narendranath to spread the light of India and its rich values throughout the world. Narendranath remained in close contact with Sri Ramakrishna for more than 6 years and imbibed his teachings. The spiritual leader appointed Narendranath as his successor just 3 days before his death on 16th August in 1886. He bestowed upon Narendranath the title of Swami Vivekananda. After the death of his spiritual guide, Swami Vivekananda founded the spiritual organization called Ramakrishna Mission to spread the values upheld by Sri Ramakrishna. He devoted his entire life in preaching the philosophies of Sri Ramakrishna throughout the world. He reached out to people from various parts of the globe like Asia, Europe, England and America and enlightened them about the Indian way of life as preached by Sri Ramakrishna. In the year 1890, he set out to travel the whole of India and to experience the essence of this vast and varied country and its people. He meditated upon the past and present condition of India at the time and came to the conclusion that spiritual resurrection was the only way to arrest the downfall of India. He became a nationalist and realized that until people were free from their miseries, no philosophical teaching will be of any use to them. In 1892, he reached Kanyakumari, the southernmost tip of India, and started meditating on the rock situated in the sea. Thereafter, he reached Chennai, where people welcomed him as a nationalist and encouraged his spirit of righteousness and justice. While in Chennai, he came to know about the Parliament of Religious that was scheduled to be held at Chicago in America in September 1893. He started his voyage for America on 31st May 1893. He travelled to America via China, Japan and Canada and reached Chicago in the month of July. At the Chicago Convention, Swami Vivekananda introduced to the world the depth of Indian religion, its traditional values, rich philosophy and ancient culture. This made the world recognize the greatness of Indian value system and the depth of Swami Vivekananda's philosophy. He came back to India and started working with the objective to create a society of self-reliant Indians. He spread the message of universal brotherhood through his speeches and lectures. He revisited the West in 1899 and established Vedanta societies there. Swami Vivekananda went into eternal sleep on 4th July 1902 at the young age of 39 years. Meaning of education as per Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda is regarded as one of the greatest world teachers. His philosophy of education reflects his overall philosophy towards life and humanity. The basis of his philosophy is the principle of Vedanta, which means non-dualism. According to him, education is the manifestation of perfection already reached in man. He was of the view that true education helps the common people to equip themselves for the struggle of life and brings out the strength of character, a spirit of philanthropy and the courage of a lion. Education cannot be heaped upon the mind of a child by force. He insisted on maintaining a high quality of education that will help for character building, life building, man making and integration of ideas. Swami Vivekananda's philosophy on life. Swami Vivekananda preached that the main essence of human life lies in leading a fearless life and serving humanity with peace. He was of the view that every human being must become fearless by facing every hardship and struggle in a courageous manner. He wanted every individual to overcome all fears that engulf a person from within and outside. He combined the idealistic philosophy of the Western countries to the ancient philosophy of Hindu religion of India to preach everyone about the Indian way of life. Swami Vivekananda's philosophy on education. Swami Vivekananda had a comprehensive view about education. He was of the opinion that real education must prepare an individual to face the struggle for existence in a fearless manner. Education must make a man aware of his social responsibilities. It must infuse in him the sense of social service. Swami Vivekananda was of the view that education was one of the most important tools for character building of an individual. He did not value college and university degrees as the highest form of achieving education. According to him, proper education must elevate mental powers, character, courage and intelligence in a human being. It must equip an individual with self-confidence and self-reliance. He preached that the human mind is a storehouse of knowledge that lies covered behind a veil of ignorance. Education is the light that leads the mind from ignorance towards enlightenment. Knowledge uplifts the veil of ignorance from the human mind and allows them to distinguish between right and wrong in order to lead a better life. He was against the spread of theoretical and academic education. He insisted on practical and experimental education rather than depending on mass theories. Aims of education. According to Swami Vivekananda, education is a continuous process that includes all aspects of life. Education leads to the elevation of physical, material, intellectual, emotional, moral and spiritual sides of life. He considered education to be the main tool for removal of social evils, poverty, ignorance and tyranny of the powerful people. His educational ideas are relevant even today. Most people are losing their connection with the values of human life. Following this rule, we can make everyone realize the importance of education in society. Swami Vivekananda expressed that education will be fruitful only when it helps to fulfill the following aims: creation of self-confidence and self-realization. The immortal soul of man is a treasure trove of infinite power. Man must act with confidence and try to achieve the highest goal of life, self-realization. Education must help us to understand what we actually are. Formation of strong character. Education must help us to distinguish between good and bad and curb the evil tendencies of our mind. It must lay the foundation for a good character and help to nurture it. Development of personality. Personality is the impression that is reflected on others. Education must provide a strong basis for development of personality. Service of mind. Education must prepare everyone to stand on their own feet and uplift themselves from the clutches of poverty and misery. Promotion of universal brotherhood. Education must promote universal brotherhood that transcends geographical boundaries. It must be based on the notions of equality and harmony. Focus on practical aspects of life. Education must instill in individuals the ability to work on practical aspects. Great principles will be of no use if not put into practical use. Physical and mental development. A fit body and mind are essential for becoming able citizens of the country. Education must serve this necessity among young individuals so that they become well developed citizens of the nation. Moral and spiritual development. Moral and spiritual development is closely related to the building of a great nation. Education must provide the basis for such development. Fostering unity in diversity. Education must allow individuals to understand the significance of unity in a diversified environment. It must instill a thorough understanding of unity in diversity in each individual. Religious development. Education must help to explore the religious seed embedded in each individual and help in discovering the absolute truth or reality about life. Let me summarize the session. The works and philosophy of Swami Vivekananda opened a new direction in the field of education in India. His revolutionary educational philosophy was intended to educate the people and guide them from ignorance towards enlightenment. His philosophy was intended to awaken the spiritual side of human beings and make them aware of their potentialities. It stressed on the need to overcome social evils like hatred, superstition and selfishness and realize one's truth identity in this universe. Mahatma Gandhi also stressed on the education that prepares a child for overall development. He emphasized that education was not confined to the realms of literacy. His educational philosophy focused on drawing the best in an individual's mind, body and spirit. His philosophy also stressed on adopting a path of non-violence to achieve the objectives through education. Both of these great thinkers were of the opinion that practical training is much more necessary than theoretical knowledge. Now, you can try to answer the following questions. 1. Write a biographical note on Swami Vivekananda. 2. Describe Swami Vivekananda's philosophy on education. 3. Discuss how Swami Vivekananda's educational ideas are relevant even today. 4. Sketch the trajectory of Mahatma Gandhi's involvement in India's freedom struggle. 5. critically analyze the meaning of education as forwarded by Mahatma Gandhi. Hope that you may go through the reference books given here. A Comprehensive Study of Education by Samuel R.S. in 2011, PHI Learning Private Limited, New Delhi. A New Approach to Teacher and Education in the Emerging Indian Society, 2nd edition by Dash BN in 2005, Nilkamal Publications Private Limited, New Delhi. Education in Emerging Indian Society, 1st edition by Saxena N and Chaturvedi S, Surya Publications, Meerut. Thank you for watching this program. We can meet again with another topic. Till then, take care.